Keeping good company. So join the company of good men and women. Keep your feet on the tried and true paths. It's the man who walks straight who will settle this land. The women with integrity who will last here. Scott Bader has been in business since 1920. In 1951, the owners effectively gave the company to its employees, securing its future in a unique and democratic new business structure known as the Commonwealth. Talking of unique and democratic.
Hi, I am Sarah Smith from Scott Bader, South Africa, and I'm helping make this short film on our company. Actually, there's a few of us. Say hello, guys.
Hello.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Don't worry, we'll do full introductions later. Meanwhile,
Here's the idea. We want to show you what we think is so special about Scott Bader.
We want to tell you about our simply astonishing past.
De notre absolument et incroyablement
unique,
jedinstvenoj
structure démocratique connue sous le nom de Commonwealth de Scott Bader.
We want to show you what's happening today.
And we will definitely make a few predictions for the future too.
Da ponovimo, pokrit ćemo.
The past.
2,
the present,
3,
the future,
4,
Les raisons qui nous rendent
unique,
5,
nous vous raconterons
6.
tell you what this means to us in practice, and in so doing make you smile.
Ready?
Hold on to your hard hats.
The past,
Our founder was a man named Ernest Bader. He was born in Switzerland in 1890, and the most important things to note about his earlier life was his understanding at a very early age that Christianity meant loving one another, loving the poor, and loving one's neighbor as Jesus had taught.
Il arriva en Angleterre en 1912 et s'installa chez Madame Scott, une veuve et ses 2 filles célibataires. L'aînée s'appelait Dora Scott et était sage-femme. Au fil du temps, Ernest et Dora découvrirent qu'ils partageaient la même passion à l'idée de créer une société de paix et d'équité pour leurs contemporains. Ils se marièrent en 1915.
In 1920, Ernest founded the company E. Scott Bader. Now here's a question.
you're a child on a beach.
Once you've made your sandcastle, what do you put on top, other than your little sister's ice cream?
a windmill.
un moulin à vent.
At the English seaside in the late 1920s, every child wanted a penny windmill, and these windmills were made of new material called celluloid, of which Scott Bader was the sole agent. The firm began to prosper.
In the 1930s, the company began manufacturing pigments and additives for the paint industry from its factory in Stratford in the middle of London docks. But when the bombing began in 1940, a new site was needed.
How do you think Ernest and colleagues set about finding a new location?
No Google Earth,
No whizzy property apps,
No regional development teams touting to relocate Scott Bader in purpose-built factory units.
no.
Non,
They had to do it the old-fashioned way.
à vélo.
Bicycle.
Pour protéger employés et activités, Ernest Bader et son chimiste en chef, Courtney Bryson, durent littéralement donner un bon coup de pédale.
Every weekend, Ernest cycled west and Courtney north. We're not talking a casual day trip to the outskirts of London. No. After several months of searching, Courtney, some 65 miles from the capital, found a manor house in Wollaston, in the county of Northamptonshire.
That very same weekend, Ernest Bader found a beautiful building in the Cotswolds. He was around 75 miles from home. Which was it to be?
With 44 acres of land, the Wollaston Manor was chosen. There was room for the factory, whilst keeping the beautiful gardens intact, and the manor house was large enough to be both office and accommodation to Mr. Bader, his family, and many of his staff, who needed to be evacuated from London.
After World War II, the company became a world leader in its field. Fiberglass and plastics, whilst common today, were revolutionary new materials, and Scott Bader produced key ingredients known as resins.
Do 1950. godine u kompaniji je bilo zaposleno 180 ljudi.
We just want to stop there for a second to take stock.
Et vous posez cette question.
Imagine a company today with world-class scientists,
valuable intellectual properties in the form of unique processes,
a vast market lead,
With little competition,
C'est votre bébé, vous l'avez fondé, vous êtes le grand patron.
Imagine you are the sole owner.
Can you imagine the temptation?
To think it's all about you.
Your bright idea.
Votre dur labeur.
Your hard work.
Kako biste mogli trgovati na masovnom tržištu kemijske tehnologije
Et à une vie dans le luxe.
With your vast payoff.
Mixed with the great.
And the good.
A Maserati in Mayfair.
A motor yacht in Monaco.
Mansion in Malibu.
With little concern for your employees.
Just numbers after all.
And even less for the planet that provided your raw materials.
Because as the saying goes, you're worth it.
Imagine what you could do.
Imagine what you could do.
Imagine what you could do with all that.
Money.
Što biste vi učinili?
Que feriez-vous?
What would you do?
What about Ernest? Now a great success.
Did he conveniently forget his convictions?
S'est-il trouvé de bonnes excuses?
Did he sell out?
Non.
He gave it all away.
All of it.
On je sve poklonio.
Il n'a pas vendu à bon prix ses actions à ses employés.
He gave his shares away.
Not donating a few million to a good cause in front of the world press.
He gave his home away.
Or setting up a foundation so he could be seen striding the global stage.
No.
He gave it all away.
All of it.
All of it.
Tout.
All of it.
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 Ama baš
All of
sve.
it.
Ama baš
All of
sve.
it.
During World War II, people had worked together for the greater good.
Post-war, Ernest and his son Godric could see that there was then an unhealthy growth of materialism, power, selfishness, and personal interest.
The profit motive, greed, and with it, naturally, exploitation of the workers and of society as well. Those who are employed help the owners at the present time, the capitalists, to become richer and richer, and they become poorer and poorer. A world which is only run by the haves is not the right one. The have-nots are suffering, and they are second-class citizens at best.
To counter this and strive to secure global peace, his aim was to bring people together in business.
To work as one family, each person equal to any other, no matter what creed, color, language, nationality, background, or position. And so Ernest and his family gave the business to the Commonwealth.
And that's us.
Believing it was not just about profit.
No rapid expansion.
Nor personal gain.
But about the end of
poverty.
Et l'exploitation des travailleurs.
And all about the release of the human spirit.
The sharing of
The
wealth.
fulfillment of every human being.
Making the world a better place.
Nous parlions déjà de durabilité.
Leaving the world better for the next generation.
Il y a plus de 60 ans de ça.
It was not that he was worth it. He believed we were worth it.
Now giving the company away to be run democratically with the guarantee that a rogue element couldn't drive the company into oblivion took time and serious thought. But Ernest was determined to make it happen.
En deux étapes. La première en 1951 et la seconde en 1963. Sa famille et ses actionnaires donnèrent leur part pour créer la Scott Bader Commonwealth Limited, une entreprise à statut d'organisation caritative, et conçurent ainsi un modèle économique unique.
It was to be run by the employees who became members of the Commonwealth for the good of the business now and for future generations.
And I am one of today's members.
And so are we.
Tout comme nous.
I mi smo.
And as there are no individual shareholders, the business could not
And cannot be sold.
The company was Scott Bader.
C'est encore Scott Bader.
Will always be Scott Bader.
Knowing we are always going to be Scott Bader
Forever.
means we can do some serious long-term planning and
Our customers can rely on us to deliver with complete confidence.
always.
So what happened next?
Toujours bien accroché.
From 1951 onwards, the company continued to innovate and grow, setting up in France, the Middle East, Sweden, and South Africa. We provided the chemistry behind the household names.
There were difficult times too, but because we, as Commonwealth members, shared the responsibility for the company's success, we outsurvived many of our competitors. We were resilient in recession and grounded in times of abundance.
We have stayed true to our democratic values thanks to a written constitution and a belief that we hold Scott Bader on trust for the next generation, safeguarding the livelihoods of Commonwealth members and families now and for the future.
And so here we are at the now.
Le présent.
And we could wax lyrical about our technical achievements
that have allowed our awesome customers to
touch the edge of space in their hot air balloons,
Ou de recoller les semelles de mes chaussures.
Set world records on land and sea,
or make our buses look resplendent.
Build the car that the world's most famous secret agent drives.
and a green, clean three-wheeler that he probably won't.
Or we could get numerical and overdose you with facts and figures.
Geographical to show our presence in China, Croatia, Canada, and the USA too.
Analytical to describe our amazingly diverse family, numbering well over 600 colleagues from all over the world.
Or philosophical, as we are a testament to the truth that there is an alternative to modern capitalism.
Or chronicle how Godric and our Commonwealth have been recognised by the Gandhi Foundation through its International Peace Award.
Or poetical, whimsical, even lyrical. And tell off the story of how the sole importer of celluloid, whose sails made the Sandcastle windmills spin, in the breeze on sunny seaside shores of 20th Britain, lighting up infant faces with smiles. It's now, so many generations later, a multinational family supplying materials for the largest and most efficient wind turbines. Towering and turning not far from the same shores and transforming that same sea breeze into energy, lighting up our family homes.
Si tout ceci est extra,
it's all very nice.
And is certainly very important.
We feel sure it would only mean something to Ernest, Godric, and family.
And only means something to us because of what it allows us to do for others less fortunate. This is what we really want to share with you about the Commonwealth.
The Scott Barter Commonwealth's charitable giving changes people's lives. Each and every member is encouraged to replace a normal day at work with a day volunteering for a good cause of their choice. And also the fundraising activities of members are matched. As well as this, the Commonwealth annually supports 2 projects to the value of £25,000 each. Let's hear from a recent beneficiary.
The help with the Scott Barter means we can support, and we have already supported 55 families. For that support from Scott Barter, Sendekau is thanking Scott Barter Common Health for the support.
Of course, there have been many other projects that have received one of the 2 £25,000 annual donations to help with the education of future generations. And for the eradication of poverty, hunger and disease, the Commonwealth has provided money for the purchasing and distribution of water tanks for schools and health centres in Uganda, toolkits for small businesses in developing countries, 2,000 pre-treated mosquito nets for Kenya, and for the building of bakeries with the surplus bread going to school to feed children in South Sudan, and 5 special mills with 50 trained volunteers making immunity-boosting flour to help 2,700 victims of HIV in Kenya, a clinic to serve 14,000 inhabitants of villages high in the Himalayas, 2 primary schools in Zambia, with previously unemployed men and women being trained in construction, and classrooms in schools in Nepal, with additional funding for new teachers, and for the training of 5 volunteers with additional support for 25 others to help 120 children learn to read in the UK, 50 teachers giving 27,000 children the chance of an education in the Democratic Republic of Congo, 50 farmers to create sustainable businesses in South Africa, 900 women farmers in sustainable agriculture, helping feed 5,600 orphans in Uganda, and 9,000 people benefiting from sustainable farming education in earthquake-affected areas of Pakistan, and financial support for 800 women farmers in Malawi, and a program to reach, protect and nurture street children in South Africa, and another in the Philippines to encourage 500 children to attend school rather than working on the streets. These are just a few of the ways in which the Commonwealth has lived its values, sharing its success and distributing its profits with those in need, in keeping with the aims of Ernest and Dora Barter when they first began their business in 1920. Wealth was not just for the haves, but to be used wisely and shared with the have-nots. To use Scott Barter to bring about peace, fellowship and lasting change. Let's hear directly from one more good cause.
In 2014, we were incredibly fortunate to receive a large donation from the trustees of Scott Barter Commonwealth Foundation Limited. And with that, we have transformed St. Malumba Primary School in the Iganga district of Uganda.
On behalf of the teachers, pupils, school community and all parents, I'd like to thank very much Scott Bader Commonwealth Limited for the assistance you have really rendered to this school.
It is wonderful to be able to say his name and see what good has been achieved, even though deep down inside us we still do hurt about the fact that he's not with us anymore.
To me, the Commonwealth means
Giving.
Ownership.
Sigurnost. La cohésion.
Culture.
Partage.
Innovation.
Teamwork.
Sharing.
Partage.
Partage.
Mogućnost.
Générosité.
Générosité. Opportunity.
Giving.
Participation.
Solidarity.
Common ownership.
Everything.
To me, the Commonwealth also means togetherness, now and in the future.
Budućnost.
L'avenir.
The future.
In the future, we want to continue to be recognized for our
Integrity.
Fiabilité.
Excellent customer service.
For our problem solving.
Because of our ethical, philosophical beliefs.
For our desire to leave the world in a better condition than when we found it.
We want to continue to
Innovate.
Motivé.
Demonstrate that there are alternative ways of doing business than conventional capitalism.
support our communities with charitable giving.
Commit to continued ethical business standards.
Grow, safeguarding the future livelihood of each other and our families.
Celebrate and uphold our different cultural backgrounds and live our values sincerely.
Donner.
Willingly.
Servir.
Continually. Our colleagues, our neighbors, and the global community.
Working all things out by talking.
We are a family after all. Nothing's perfect.
but we will always find a way.
Invest in people and new technologies.
While always
Always
keeping the health and safety of all our people and customers paramount.
Alors, qu'en pensez-vous? Sommes-nous uniques?
You have been watching or listening to.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Doviđenja, pozdrav.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Doviđenja.
Au revoir. Au
Goodbye.
revoir.
Bye.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.